When the world has got you down. And
Alzheimer's sucks. It's an equal opportunity disease that chips away at everything we hold dear. And to date, there's no cure. So until there is, we continue to fight with the most powerful tool in our arsenal, love. This is Love Conquers Alls, a real and really positive podcast that takes a deep dive into everything Alzheimer's, the good, the bad, and everything in between. And now, here's your hosts, Susie Singer Carter and Cassie Cruz.
And all you gotta do is sing a song.
Hi, I'm Susie Singer Carter.
And I'm Cassie Cruz. Welcome to the Love Conquers Alls.
We have an amazing guest that comes to us from Cassie, who's had hands-on experience with this amazing woman, RESSEL YU. And she is a quantum healer and a mindset makeover maven. I love this. I don't know anything about healing. I've only been to a healer once, so this is exciting for me. And Cassie, I'm going to allow you to introduce this lovely lady.
Well, I've had a lot of experience with healers because I've been doing this since I was a kid. I've been really, the California girl kind of little wackalicious. That's okay because I've been seeking healers and teachers and really seeking the truth. What is the truth? And the truth is so elusive because it comes to you and then you think that's the truth. And really, I've had such a great teacher. I call her my kaleidoscope. She's like, well, maybe it's that, and then as time goes on, you're like, it's this. Oh, maybe it's this, like they talk about the blind man when they're looking at the elephant and explaining what the elephant is, and everybody's at a different section of that elephant. It's like, oh no, it's there's really hard, material. No, it's a really long head. It's like,
everything's dynamic. The world is dynamic, and truth and facts and things change.
Exactly.
Everything.
So I'm just going to say that RESSEL is a quantum healer that incorporates the Akashic records into her practice to heal not only the present, but also the past, which in turns changes all future events. I know, isn't that cool?
It's so cool.
She's certified in NLP and the emotional code. She has helped entrepreneurs, corporations, and children release emotional baggage that keep them stuck in the black hole of despair.
Right.
She hosts monthly money mindset retreats and I'm possible workshops. So it's impossible, really. It's I'm possible workshops, right?
I love that. I'm possible.
I'm possible, in which she not only removes the blocks around money, but also teaches her clients how to heal themselves and manifest anything they desire.
Oh my God, I need that money thing. Let's get to that. Welcome, RESSEL. Thank you so much for coming on Love Conquers Alls.
Yes.
Hello.
I'm super excited to meet you and hear all about this and how it relates to Alzheimer's, how we can use a different approach for caregivers and people that are dealing with a disease like Alzheimer's or any disease.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. I'm just, I had a really, really rough childhood. And, but the thing is, what I realized back then is that I was programmed to have that life because that's what I saw. That's what I experienced. And it wasn't until all those horrible things happened to me that I finally asked myself, is this really my life? Is this as good as it gets? Right. And something inside me told me, no, it's impossible. Right. It's got to be better. And so that's when I started searching for the truth. What is the truth? Right. We all have different perspectives of the truth. And my perspective back then was that of lack, scarcity, and pain. And I changed that perspective and I sat in front of the elephant to really get a 360-degree view of what the truth is.
Right. And what was available to you.
Exactly.
Right.
And so, so that's why I'm here, to help open the eyes, create shift in the world, awareness, and hopefully make some sort of a positive impact for the future.
And how you could possibly use this if you are caregiving for someone that you love and you are feeling guilt sometimes, like I do, like, I can't see my mom last week and I feel like I have a pit in my stomach all week because I think, I didn't see her. Right. What if, God forbid, is she okay? Because my mom, she doesn't have a lot of her speech skills, so she can't communicate as well.
Right.
And so I feel a responsibility to advocate at all times, and I can't advocate for her all the time. Sometimes you have to advocate for yourself, and it's just hard.
RESSEL has a special gift that she would like to offer you, Susie.
Yes.
What? What? I like a gift.
Yes, and I love
giving
giving
gifts.
gifts. Let me tell you.
A gift. It's giving time. It's holiday season. I don't even know you, and I feel like I love you.
Well, I love you. So
Thank you.
what I would like to do is offer you a healing session in this moment, to help calm you, give you more peace, give you more positive energy, whatever it is that you're looking for that's going to help you get through this time. I would love to give you that gift.
You mean like right now?
Yes,
as we speak. As we speak. So then everyone listening can kind of get a taste of what RESSEL could do for you.
Yes.
Also, RESSEL, you were sharing with me that you don't have to physically be in the same room with the person. And she can also, if you give her permission, Susie, she can also give your mom some relief, even though it might not be known to anybody, but it'll be known to her if you'd like.
Wow, this sounds amazing. Yeah, explain.
That's like your stocking stuffer.
I love it. It's better than a lip gloss, I'll tell you that.
There you go.
Well, let's do it. Let's jump in and see it, because I think this would be a great tool to have, for everybody. So use me as a guinea pig. Let's do it. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, let me go ahead and set the stage for you, though, too, because this is where it gets really fun and really creative. Because there's this phenomenon called quantum entanglement. So what that means is when particles of different origins come together in one container, like your podcast or in a room, those particles become one. They start working in unison, which means for you and for your listeners that as I do this healing on you, anyone listening to this podcast will also be receiving the healing as well. Whether they listen today, whether they listen next week, or whether they listen 10 years from now, it is still active in that moment.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my God, you're welcome. You're welcome.
There you go. We love Send the donations.
Okay, so everybody get ready to have like a transformation.
Exactly. And even animals. So if your animals are there with you and you've got your if they're listening, they all are part of this quantum entanglement, and they will be healing as well. Okay.
Shush.
I know. It's just so awesome.
What if, I'm having a breakout. Would that help my breakout?
It could. It could. You never know. Listen to this podcast for a few days and we'll see what happens. Get back to me on that.
I will. All right. So we need to take a break. Okay. You're listening to Love Conquers All. We'll be back after this.
This is Don Priest, beloved producer of Love Conquers Alls. Hey, if you've been thinking about starting your own podcast, stop thinking and do it. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. Your show can be online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more within minutes of finishing your first recording. Buzzsprout is passionate about helping you succeed. So join Love Conquers Alls and over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get their message out to the world. And now, back to Love Conquers Alls.
We're back.
Yay! And you're listening to Love Conquers Alls with us.
And we're speaking with RESSEL YU. I just wanted to interject one second. The podcast is new, and the tone of this, I just want to explain, is that for me, you got to laugh through this. You got to have fun, and you got to enjoy the moments. Yeah. And, when I made my film, My Mom and the Girl, it was like, I call it a joyous look at Alzheimer's, because you either embrace the joy that you have, or you're going to be in a fetal position and just useless. So this is why I enjoy people with high levels of energy and happiness, because we can only deal with what we have. So I just wanted to throw that out there in case you just joined us and are like, this is supposed to be Alzheimer's and it's supposed to be heavy. No, we can't.
Wait a second. I'm going to say Alzheimer's is heavy, but we don't have to make it that way, and we don't have to react to it that way. Although there will be times that it will hit us heavy, and we will be crying, and we will be in despair. But then we fall, and we must get back up, and we have to be able to be examples of how getting back up looks, because we don't talk about that very often, and we don't show people that, because we are so, like, we need to look perfect, and we are not perfect, and we don't know what we don't know, and it's okay. It's all feelings and all expressions are okay, but the rise is what RESSEL will help facilitate. That's what she's helped me with. So
and just to add a little bit to that as well, self-care is so important, especially when you're a caregiver, because you can't give from an empty cup, right? And my whole thing, especially when I'm doing my workshops, is take care of you first, right? Make sure that your cup is overflowing. And then when you give back, you're giving from the overflow, not from your cup. Right. So we got to make sure that you are abundant in all areas of your life, whether it's money, love, joy, bliss, you name it. We want to make you abundant all across the board so that you can give from that overflow. And so we're going to start creating that overflow for you and for your listeners, for Cassie or whoever wants this. Does that sound good?
It sounds great.
Including your little babies.
Fur babies and human babies, all kinds of babies.
There you go. Exactly. Okay. So we'll go ahead and begin. And so anyone that is wanting this healing, all they need to do is close their eyes. Okay. And just tune into the different body sensations you may be feeling. And because I am directing this to you, Susie, I'm going to also be incorporating the emotion code, letting go of all the emotional baggage that's preventing you from having more peace, calm, and joy in your life. Does that sound good?
It doesn't sound bad.
Okay.
It sounds fabulous.
Okay. So let's go ahead and begin. Everyone close their eyes. Okay. I'm just going to be silent for just a few seconds here. Okay. Wonderful. So I set the energy for everyone. Just keep your eyes closed. And like I said, I'm going to be directing the emotional unpacking for Susie. All right. You're going to hear me asking a lot of questions. Susie, you don't need to answer anything. I'm actually talking to your unconscious mind, accessing the Akashic records to find out what emotions we need to release to allow more peace, calm, and joy in your life. Okay. So is there a trapped emotion we can release from Susie so that she can experience more peace, calm, and joy in her life? Yes. Okay. So there's some feelings of depression, frustration, indecisiveness, panic, and also feeling taken for granted. So we're going to go ahead and start releasing that. We're going to release the depression. We're going to release the frustration and the indecisiveness and the panic and that taken for granted. Do successfully remove all those? Yes. And that taken for granted, I saw something happen to you somewhere in your teen years. And you don't have to share if you don't want to. I'm sensing around 16, 17 years old. I don't know if anything comes to mind around that time, Susie.
Well, my dad died when I was just right before I turned 17.
Okay. So, well, we got rid of that. We got rid of all those emotions. Let's see if there's anything else we can release. Is there any other trapped emotion we can release from Susie so she can experience more peace, calm, and joy in her life? Okay. So you've got some anxiety, despair, disgust, nervousness, and worry. Do we need to know any more about those emotions? No. So let's go ahead and start removing the anxiety and the despair and the disgust, the nervousness, and the worry. Okay. Did we successfully remove those emotions? Yes. And if you're feeling anything emotional coming up, Susie, let it out. Okay. Because
Okay.
you don't want to retrap these emotions. And I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit, after this healing, what's taking place. So let me continue here. Is there any other trapped emotion we can release from Susie so she can experience more peace, calm, and joy? Okay. So you got more emotions. You've got some feelings of anger, bitterness, guilt, hatred, and resentment. Do we need to know more about these? No. So let's get rid of the anger and the bitterness and the guilt and the hatred and the resentment. Okay. Do we successfully remove all those emotions? Yes. How are you feeling, Susie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All of it, right?
Exactly. All of it.
Okay. So, so what your unconscious mind is asking me to do is leave it there for now, because what's going to happen over the next 24 to 48 hours is, because you didn't fully process these emotions when they occurred, you're going to start processing them now, which means you may experience an emotional roller coaster, some fatigue, vivid dreams, and it's all normal. Just know that this too shall pass. And after that, you're going to feel even better, even more powerful, more excited, and things are going to get better. Okay.
Yes.
So how are you feeling? Were either of you feeling any body sensations? Because I know, even though this was directed to Susie, Cassie, did you feel anything?
Can I open my eyes now?
Oh, yes, you can.
Okay. I just didn't know if I
Susie's
could.
walking around like trying to find
It's interesting. When you said anger and frustration, I had this flash of something that had just happened right before you said that.
Oh, wow.
I think I am an empath because I think I'm an open book. Like, I think people can read my thoughts, which are real.
Right.
Thoughts are tangible.
Yes.
So I wasn't surprised that you picked it up as soon as I flashed on that. I was like, oh, I have to be careful about what I think, because
Exactly. That is so true, because our thoughts become things, and that's how we manifest.
Yes.
And a lot of people don't understand that it's not necessarily the thoughts that we have in our conscious mind. It's the thoughts that we hold in our unconscious mind, because the unconscious is what controls 90% of everything that we attract in our life. So if we're holding on to things like anger and guilt and anxiety, the only thing we will get back in our life is more of the same. And so as we release all the low vibrating emotions and start filling them in with things like love, then you will be getting the things that vibrate on that same level, that same frequency, like money, because money vibrates at a frequency of 528 hertz and above, which is exactly the frequency of love. Love or above is what I always say, always vibing at that. And things are just amazing, and everything becomes possible.
I think that it's very difficult to unconsciously know what you're feeling, because I consciously go, no, I think I've dealt with that. No, I've addressed that for years. That's over with. And then like, you're like, wait, what? Unconsciously, I still didn't process that, or that was trapped in my body because I stuffed it down.
Yes.
Or I tried to put a Band-Aid on it by overworking, or, like, let me check out and just do, not really, let me see if I can just have it go away. And like when you hook up a hose that's been not hooked up to clean water for a long time, and you go and put clean water in there, this is how I feel about your healings, RESSEL.
Yeah, and you got to let it run. You got to let it run to clear it out.
Exactly, because but all that gunk's got to come out still. And it's not that the stuff's coming in is bad anymore, because you have good, fresh love, energy, wonderful stuff coming in, and it's clear. But the other stuff needs to still shed or go away or get out and clean out. And that's, I think, what you were describing about the processing, like, don't retrap it. Don't hold it back in. Don't I shouldn't be feeling this way. She released it. No, she released it. Let it go. It's got to get out of you. It's got to flow like the waves, like the tide, like our emotions are like the tide, and those type of things and analogies.
Like Anna in Frozen, for God's sake.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Are you going to start singing that?
I could in any
Do it.
second.
Do it.
Don't give me an opportunity because you know I will.
Oh my gosh, that is so hilarious. I want you to do it, Susie. When we get off this phone, you are going to serenade me.
And you know what? Not to give any short shrift to any male listeners, but as women who are in the workforce and we're trying to balance everything and we're just freaking emotional, hormonal beings, and we have a different emotional
Constitution.
Constitution, good word. And I think, you throw that into the mix of anything stressful, and we try to be strong. So we say, I'm good. It's like when my dad died, he's my muse because he died at very young in a plane crash. And so he was ripped out of his life, in the middle of this amazing trajectory that he had. And he left an amazing legacy in the music industry. So he's been my barometer of success, as it were.
Right.
But, I think that when he passed away, I remember being like, I've got this. I'm good. And then when I had a miscarriage, I've got this. I'm good. And it's like, I can go on. And down the line, I've been the girl that could bounce back and also, maintain my sunny personality because I thought I'd be letting everyone down.
Exactly. And it's those things, all the emotions that we'd stuffed that are coming back to haunt us. Right. And here's the thing with emotions as well is everything is energy, and so are emotions. And when you feel an emotion and you don't allow it to come out or let it go, and it gets trapped in your body, it becomes an irritant, and it starts irritating the tissues in the area in which it got trapped in. So if we bring this back to, let's say, Alzheimer's.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
If your mother trapped certain emotions and it got lodged in her brain, whether it's the right hemisphere or the left hemisphere, it's causing inflammation.
Yep.
Right? If we can remove those trapped emotions in that brain area, the brain will begin to start healing itself because our bodies are so amazing, right? We are created to regenerate and heal ourselves. But why don't we? It's because of trapped energy stuck in the body.
And because we don't know how to, RESSEL.
And exactly.
We haven't been taught that.
That's true. And, and I want to go back to what Cassie was saying, that it's so difficult for us to understand what we are unconsciously thinking, right? So the best way to know what your unconscious mind is thinking or feeling, take a look at your life. Take a look at the money in your life. Take a look at the loves that you have in your life, your career. Are they where you want them to be? If not, I promise you, you have bad thoughts about it. And that's why it is not the life that you wanted to design. Does that make sense?
Totally. And you know what's interesting? A book that I read, My Stroke of Insight, is amazing woman, Jill Taylor, who had a massive stroke. And she was in coma for quite a long time. And what was so eye-opening about it was that she went to this very peaceful place. She lost her memory, but her memory of losing her memory was that A, it was blissful.
Yeah.
And B, which, by the way, gave me such comfort to think, as my mom is losing her facilities, that it can be a very blissful place.
Right.
Secondly, because that's something that taxes my mind, is like, what is my mother, this firecracker? Is she just feeling trapped inside of a body? You know what I mean? But according to this amazing woman, it's a blissful place to be. Because you're very much in the Zen now, here and now, like a child, like a baby, like an infant. And so what becomes really important is intention, and intention is thought, right? How powerful, she said, were the intentions because of say, a nurse who came in who was in a very positive place. She would feel this relaxation because this human being came in with a loving intention. Whereas the counter to that was that if someone came in who was not happy to be there, just wanted to get through it.
Well, that's being felt. And that's why we have to really check ourselves as well. Like, what is the intention? Why are we doing something? And sometimes, even for me, a lot. And I've had to check myself a lot I was like, wait a second. Am I doing this because I'm being guilted into it? And if I'm then basically, if I'm feeling guilted into it, then I'm resentful for doing it. I'm still doing it, but it is not from a place of love. It is from a place of like
and
that
obligation
anger.
Or something. Right.
Exactly. I have a question for you, Russell. Can I shift back to what about her mother? What can you provide for her mother in this session before we are going to have to wrap this up?
Well, what I'm going to do for your mother is also send an energy healing to her. And then also afterwards, I'd like to check back in with Susie to see if she's noticing any shifts.
Oh, that's exciting. So we'll have a part 2 with you.
We'll have a part 2.
A part 2 healing session. I love it.
Yes. This would be phenomenal.
It'd
And
be
also,
very
if anybody listening, if you went through this process with us and you felt a shift, like, let us know.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be so exciting.
Tell us. We want to hear. We want to hear your experience too. We want to hear, what did you think about what we've been talking about? Because it's a little different. Not for me, because I've been doing this since I was a kid this way, but it's a little bit different conversation than what most people are used to having, because we're talking about something that's not 100% known to a lot of people.
No, it's a little ooey ooh, but I kind of like a little ooey ooh.
Yes,
no,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
It's like ooey. It's not ooey ew. It's like ooey ooh.
And the thing is, Western medicine is doing the best it can.
It's important,
yes,
it's
it is.
But we need all other types.
We do. We have to tackle this disease from every angle possible. Not only so that we could find a cure, but also to find the cause. Because if we can find the cause, then this won't happen as often.
Right. But you know what you said that was brilliant, Russell, is that you were talking about, the inflammation of thought.
Yes.
Well, first of all, yes. I mean, you go through a stressful time, people that go through divorce and loss of, and death and what happens, sure enough, 3 months later, they've got breast cancer.
Yes.
And one thing we do know about Alzheimer's is that the basis of it is inflammation. And, and inflammation is the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And inflammation is caused by so many different elements in our world, which could be food, which could be environment, which could be stress from emotional trauma.
Exactly.
From physical trauma. There's so many ways that our body is going to react, and it inflames to actually like alert, Will Robinson.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And I think Louise Hay wrote a book called Heal Yourself.
Yes, you mentioned that, and I want to discuss that in 1 second, right after this break.
Hi, I'm Susie with Love Conquers Alls. As COVID-19 continues to spread throughout the country, we've all had to rethink the way we do many things, including shopping for groceries. And in an effort to stay isolated, many of us are taking advantage of grocery delivery services, including me. During this quarantine here in Los Angeles, I've been using Instacart, and let me tell you, these Instacart shoppers are braving stores for those of us who are either sick or have someone vulnerable in the family, and they are nothing less than household heroes. So if you want to try Instacart for a free delivery on your first order over $35 and to start your 14-day free trial, follow the link in the show notes to Instacart so they know that we sent you. And please stay home and stay safe. And now back to Love Conquers Alls. Hey, we're back, and you're listening to Love Conquers Alls. I'm Susie Singer Carter, and my co-host, the lovely Cassie Cruz. And we're speaking with RESSEL YU.
I want to go back to Louise Hay. She wrote a book called Heal Yourself.
Yes.
And in it, she talked about Alzheimer's and that she felt that Alzheimer's was essentially the mind wanting to detach from their life because there were so many things that were happening to them that they just wanted to disconnect. They wanted to check out. And that was their safety, is to just check out in that moment. And if we can get Alzheimer's patients to come back to us and be okay by removing all these negative emotions that are causing them to want to disconnect, then they're going to want to stay in their bodies.
Oh my God. My mother was always fearful of losing my stepdad, and they had been married for 35 years, and he was 12 years older than her. So she pretty much assumed that he was going to go before her. And she used to say to me, Susie, when Georgie goes, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. She didn't want to be without him. And I'd say, but mommy, you've got all of us, family, we love you.
Right.
You're young and you're wonderful. And I always say she may have just opened the door and let it in. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm going to be sending healings. In fact, I'm going to be doing it right now. It's going to be going directly to her. What is her name?
Norma Pecora.
Norma Pecora. Okay, so let me go ahead and send her energy. And then, like I said, I'd love to follow up with you in a few days, see how she's doing. Or when are you going to see your mom again?
Tomorrow.
Okay, perfect. This is perfect.
Yes.
Can you bring the microphone with you?
Yes. Again.
and then just write down or be mindful of just different little shifts.
I will. I will. 100%. 100%. Wow. This was so great, RESSEL. Thank you so much. We're going to have you back again.
Wonderful.
Because we need to do part 2 with you. You're too great.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so much fun. Thank you for having me.
We're so very lucky. Thank you so much for being
You're
our
welcome.
guest on Love Conquers All.
Absolutely. And if you want to follow up with RESSEL, you can find her at RESSELYou.com, on her Facebook, RESSEL You, Instagram, RESSEL You. RESSEL You will love her.
Oh, thank you so much.
And by the way, I just want to spell RESSEL for everybody. It's RESSELYU.com. To all of our listeners, remember, love is powerful, love is contagious, and love conquers all.
All you gotta do is sing a song. All you gotta do is sing a song.